We arrive at our destination, the humble home of Dennis Andaye and his family, his girlfriend Lori and their one-year-old son, Joey. Life has not been simple for them ever since Dennis was diagnosed with a severe condition that only began as a stomach upset that made him writhe in pain ever so often.
This is something that's very rare. It's not common. Very few people know about myositis. I could barely take a few steps. I could not do daily simple things like touching the top of my head, touching my ears, like buttoning the shirts, raising from a lower seated position. So basically I was bedridden.
According to Dr. Omondi Oyo, a rheumatologist,
inflammatory, let me put them called inflammatory muscle diseases. Inflammatory muscle diseases are those diseases which are characterized by inflammation of the muscles.
He says the condition has no known cause and the immune system ironically targets the muscle and skin tissues.
As the days went by, I kept getting weaker and weaker, and every fiber of my muscle was being destroyed every single day.
Myositis is one of the most expensive conditions to live with, as its medication is mandatory and on average would cost about 40,000 Kenya shillings per month, even with the side effects.
I've never missed a single dose of what was prescribed, and I think that's the way to recovery. Of course, there are flare-ups and all this when we try to reduce the dose of the steroid. Things backfire. For instance, I developed induced diabetes because of the prednisone. It inhibits production of insulin.
Dennis was always in and out of hospitals. He was misdiagnosed severally, and this could have really been avoided.
That was so devastating, was not getting the right diagnosis. It took slightly more than 7 months to know exactly what I was suffering from, and by this point, it was chronic.
The tests that are required for making a diagnosis are available because you need to do some muscle enzymes, liver function test, you need to do conduction of electricity on the muscles, you need to do a muscle biopsy, sometimes you do MRI imaging of the muscles.
A look at Dennis now and 1 year ago, you see a totally different person. He says he owes it to support, medication, and most of all, mental attitude. He is now involved in creating awareness about all forms of myositis through the Kenya Myositis Foundation, www.kenyamyositisfoundation.org. Now, not many people know of this disease, but it is slowly becoming common in Kenya. I'm talking about inflammatory muscle diseases, which is known as myositis. Now, like Dennis's case, it started only by a stomach upset. Sometimes it can start by a wrist pain. So what you have to do is make sure that if you have any muscle problem, you have to get checked and diagnosed correctly by a professional so that you can start managing this condition. For Health Matters, I am Melin Miendo.